Hey man, look, it's your boys
Straight
Trey and
to it.
Ike, bro. We're here. We don't need to tell y'all what just happened this past weekend, and the weekend before that, and the weekend before that, and the weekend before that. Unfortunately, right now, man, our Terps are down horrendous. It seems to be just a snowball. Like I don't know any other way to describe it, but everything is just falling apart. The wheels are falling off. How you feeling, Ike? How you feeling?
Last week it was when it rains it pours. This week it's a hurricane, it's a tsunami, it's whatever you want to call it. Literally, it ain't
Bro,
no reason we should have gone out there and got beat a double back score 5-1-1-5. That's something you
it,
make a wish on. You feel me? Like that. You look at the
dang.
stat sheet. Tell them what we rush for. Tell them what we
Bro,
rush for.
all right. So, you know, when you watch the game, for those who watched, it was really bad. Particularly our offense versus their defense. Their defense looked like the 2001 Ravens or, you know, the Great Wall of Defense. I don't know, bro. I don't know what they were, but they made us look like some little kids. Now, in particular, our O line, things have been going downhill like little by little every week.
The
But
great wall of defense
let's
is
just get
crazy.
let's just get to the numbers, bro, for our rushing attack. Um, okay, leading rusher, backup quarterback. Shout out Billy Edwards, good dude. One carry
Good.
for 4 yards.
Hell of a
Our
game.
star freshman All American running back from last year, the show's friend, our dog Roman Hemby, 5 carries for 0 yards. Our two backup
Mm.
running backs each had 1 carry for -3 yards. Now,
Mm.
for those who don't know, in college football, sack yardage counts against your rushing total. So they gave Talia 8 carries for -47 yards. With our long carry for the game,
Mm.
4 yards rushing, and that was a grand total of 18 run plays that they designated for -49 yards.
Mm.
Now, that sort of thing, like that stat sheet right there, that doesn't happen when Alabama plays Sam Houston State, or they're actually an FBS team now. So I'm gonna just say like your Division II team, your FCS school. When you go play, you know, no, shout out HBCUs, but when you go play the HBCUs and you're one of the big teams, even they
Alcorn
have
State.
even they have more yards than that. Like I don't want to pick on any one school right now because it happened to us, and we're
Hmm.
Maryland. We were supposed to be the third best team in the Big Ten. We had, per Coach Locke's quote, expectations to compete for a championship, and we got
Hmm.
held to negative rushing yards, and our longest run was by our backup quarterback for 4 yards.
That's actually terrible. Because if you think about it, the end of the game, they're putting in true freshmen. They're putting in redshirt guys. So for you not to even have rushing yards, like double digit, like it's actually insane. That means guys just gave up. They literally was like unstrap the chin strap, literally just not wanting to play football because that's what that is. Even when we got blown out, we've been blown out by Penn State in the past. I have vivid
Without a
memories
doubt.
of it. We still had rushing yards, we still had passing yards, we played a game of football. We just didn't play a winning game of football. So like, I don't even know. Would you call that a game of football that they went out there and played on Saturday? It wasn't a winning game of football. What was they doing?
Bro, I don't know. Like how do you address that in the film room? Like, like sometimes when you get late in the season and you're on a football team that's not very good. Unfortunately, you and I have experience with that at different places. Like coaches will be like, "Hey, man, we're two
We're
and
not even
eight.
watching the film.
We're 2-8. We just gonna flush this film. And we're gonna get ready for the next game."
Mm-hmm.
You can't do this with this team.
Yeah.
We were 5-0 a long time ago now, but we were once 5-0. We've lost
Yeah.
4 in a row, and we have 3 left. We got to get to bowl eligibility. Now we'll talk about whether that is going to happen or not in a couple minutes. But how do you just go out there and not have any level of effort, any dignity about yourself as a football team? Now I'm not going to call out dudes man for man and say they didn't try. But we're a Big Ten football program, bro. Like when we were out there for homecoming, we saw that amazing facility they sit in. Those beautiful lockers, the nice chairs, the super cool dining hall with all the good food, and they give you everything you need. What do we see though? We saw that weight room. That weight room looked like a musclehead's heaven. A palace to building the perfect body. Then they got RD, a great strength coach who I know has them boys putting in elite level work in the
He got us
offseason.
right. Literally.
Yeah, like where was that on Saturday? Like you don't rush for negative yards. You don't have not one of your running backs net a positive rushing yard. If you have any level of pride as an offensive line, bro. So one thing I know about O-line, O-linemen are annoying. They're gonna do the most. They're gonna block you after the play, even though they know the play's over. You could have made the tackle. They're gonna jump on top of you like they blocked you. Like O-linemen break down on pride everywhere I've ever been. They say 1, 2, 3 O-line pride. It's something about O-linemen that they gotta be that bully, that guy who's just annoying on the football field to the point where they're gonna do those stupid little shuffle steps with their feet out wide and all that. They're gonna do that all day. They're gonna kick slide it. Bro, O-linemen do not go out there and give up negative rushing yards. It just does not happen. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if they forgot what time the game started or what. Because, like, Talia's passing stats were actually decent. Now, it doesn't matter when you only score 15 points. The other team scores 51. It also doesn't matter when, you turn the ball over and you can't rush for a positive yard. Like, we weren't really doing anything of any substance for the vast majority of the game. But it just comes down to pride, bro. You got to have some level of pride about you to say, we're going to do something. Most times, accidentally, you can bust a big run because some D lineman went to the wrong gap, and now you got a free block, and the running back just hits it off your hip for 25 yards. That happens like once a game, every game, no matter what level of football you're at. We couldn't even get that. I mean, you're a running back, bro. Like, imagine you back there. I mean, one, none of those guys got very many carries, which that's got to be frustrating enough as a running back. But how does it feel to sit there and know, dang, we couldn't gain one positive yard?
It's low-key embarrassing because I remember when we had our running back room, we didn't even think of, like, we always valued the O-line, and we were like, all right, O-line's going to do their job, but it was on us. Like, 1 yard, you always going to get 1 yard. Like, that's just a battle of grit and will. You're going to have your plays where you get hit in the backfield, but the mentality as a running back is never take negative yardage. So to see that level of consistency in negative yardage, it was like either the O-line was just laying down on their knees and letting everybody come through, or the running backs were just not really coming out to, like, play aggressively. One or the other, maybe both, but, like, negative yardage as a running back is like your worst nightmare, and it's a hill that you don't want to die on. So something got to give. They got to finish out these last 3 with something to go into the offseason smiling about, or to grin about at least.
This is my last hypothesis, and a hypothesis is supposed to be an educated guess. This ain't very educated, but this is the only thing left that I could think. You remember Longest Yard? You remember Paul Crew was trying to shave points, and the O-line was mad at him, and so when he came back in the game, they just turned out the way and let the flood. They let the guards go get Paul.
It's got to be that.
So, it may not have been Roman. It may not have been Colby. It may not have been Littleton. Maybe it was the running back coach said something to the O-line coach, and the O-line coach was like, "Hey, we ain't gonna let that slide." I don't know what it was, but there's no way, bro. There's no way. But we're gonna move on. So coming up, we got Nebraska, right? We got Nebraska in Lincoln. Now, obviously, Maryland hasn't been in the Big Ten that long. I think they probably went to Nebraska like once by now.
One time, I think.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, because we way over here on the other coast, Nebraska, they're not very good right now. But historically, them boys don't play about their football. The fans in particular don't play about their football. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they have the longest sellout streak in not football history, sports history. The way the story was told to me is that even in the worst years of Nebraska football, the fans are so loyal, they buy the tickets to keep the sellout streak going and don't go to the games. But when they're even halfway decent, they go to the
They gonna
games.
slide. Yeah.
And they're going to be 85,000 strong, and it's going to be a sea of red. Can we get it done this week, bro?
I
We
don't
need
know,
6.
because folks done checked out, it seems. When you get a score like that, folks really checked out, and like, we need 6. I think everybody's rooting, because if you really want to be realistic, bro, the way that we've played in the past, going off of past history, where we won't beat Michigan, and Rutgers, we might not be Rutgers. You know what I mean? Rutgers is a good team that plays good football. So it's like, the way that it's looking, this Nebraska team that we're playing on Saturday is like, that is the key to us making a bowl game and playing another game this season. So I don't know, to go from almost being a Big Ten contender to not making it to a bowl game is like crazy. So I think that Coach Locks is going to corral the guys to go to Nebraska and get that dub, to go to Lincoln and pull out a W. It might not be pretty, but I think they're going to try to get that dub. It's going to be a very nasty, gritty game for sure.
So quick tail to tape, bro. So, I already laid out how Nebraska doesn't play about their football. Obviously, they have Matt Rule as their head coach, right? Revived the program at Temple, went to Baylor, did the same thing, went to the NFL. Didn't really work out, so he's back in college at a place that paid big money because they don't play about their football. But as far as roster goes, bro, they had the quarterback, I think his name was Jeff Sims, transferred over from Georgia Tech to start the season. Wasn't playing very well, got benched. For those who watched them play Colorado kind of put it on them. And Colorado lost to Stanford, and we don't want to lose to the team that lost to Colorado. We did lose to Northwestern, though, so I'm going to stop throwing out those excuses because we don't get to talk. But at the end of the day, they're 5-4. They need a win to go to a bowl game. We're 5-4. We need one to go to a bowl game. As crazy as it sounds, though, they have even more motivation. 3 teams are tied at 3-3 in Big Ten play on the West Side, including Nebraska. And if Iowa loses, 4 teams will be tied at 3-3. So potentially, they're still playing for a Big Ten West championship. So those boys ain't coming in here to mess around.
That's crazy.
We're not. Yeah, bro. The Big Ten West is weird because none of them are very good. Unfortunately,
that's crazy.
But
they need to reshuffle that. That's
insane. I mean, all that's gone in 2024 because there's no more East and West, and then you got USC and LA coming in. But so look, bro, the backup quarterback for Nebraska came in right now. He's now leading them in passing and rushing. Now, you may not think that's very much. He has more rushing yards than the Roman Hemby. And he didn't start the whole season, and he's the quarterback. I don't know if that says more about him or more about us. Yeah, our inability to get my dog Hemby going. That's pretty sad, actually. When I just read that, I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "Wait, yeah, he sure does. He has 36 more rushing yards than Hemby does."
That's insane.
But yeah, I still agree with you, bro. Everything that we've just said, even including all of that, we can't lose. We can't. There's just no way. Like, I watched Coach Loxley's press conference after the game the other day, and everyone was asking him, like, what kind of happened to this team versus the expectations you laid out to start the season. And, he talked about the Penn State game. He said, look, we are not what they won by 36 points. He said, our talent is not 36 points worse than Penn State, but they played like it today. And basically what he was saying is he's got to find out why the talent and the guys that we have on this football team have not played up to expectation. Early in the season, like what we talked about, we would get down early against inferior competition, but then we would bounce back. We would make splash plays. Talia would do something that would get the guys ignited. Defense would make a play. That has disappeared in the last month. Like, they got to find it again. Even if only for 1 week. They don't have to find it for
This
the
is
next
the
3
week to
games,
do it. Yeah.
bro. This is the one because, like you said, Michigan, Rutgers. Them boys look good against Ohio State, and they've looked good
Yeah.
all season. Their quarterback is making some plays, and Coach Schiano does not play around. For those who remember when Rutgers joined the Big Ten, Greg Schiano don't play no games, bro. And
Yeah.
in 1 year, he's got them boys believing that they can do it. They went toe to toe with O State better than we did. We're right there at the end. To be honest, I think it was like a 10-point game or something. Like it was down to the wire.
Yeah.
So you're talking about this being the best of the 3 opportunities to win. But they got to show us something, bro. Like I don't know where to start as far as like who they can lean on offensively or defensively, because it feels like all the juice has just been removed from this team. Like all the hype that we had, it's just died. Like I would say slowly, but it's felt like a pretty fast last four games, 5 weeks of real lifetime. But it hurts right now. It just
Yeah.
hurts. I'm upset. I am so upset thinking about
Yeah, it really
what
just depends on
was.
how much the boys want to continue to play football. If you want to play football into December, get you some nice bowl gifts, get you some more film, whatever matters to you. Because if you're playing
Mm-hmm.
football on the collegiate level, you're making a commitment. Like that is your life. You spending hours of your days in the football house watching film, at games, at practice. So it's like you care to some extent. Because if you didn't, that'd be insane, right? So if it
Yeah,
matters to you, whether it's bowl gifts, going to a bowl game and having that
some
experience,
money.
whether it's trying to get more film to like boost your draft stock, whether it's trying to play in a game against another good conference team or a team that's out of your conference, like whatever it is, or whether you're a coach trying to prove that the season might have been a wash but we're going to end on a victory. Like everybody has a different motivator, so whatever
Mm-hmm.
that motivator is, every single person on that team and within that organization needs to lock into that motivator this weekend and get the job done and go and beat Nebraska, because if not, it's going to look very rough for the remainder of the season. Imagine going on how many losses, how much of a
It'd be
losing streak are
seven.
we on
It'd
right
be
now? 4
seven in a
games?
row if we don't win. If we don't
That
win a
would be
game in these next
insane.
3, it'd be 7 straight losses.
That's
After
historic.
being up what
5.
10 on Ohio. Yeah, up 5 wins. But I'm saying like
Jeez.
literally go within the game of where they lost, being up 10 at Ohio State in the second quarter, and just, oh my god, bro. But you
You
make
have
such a. Go ahead.
you have to get a sports I say if that happens, you got to get a sports therapist to like do a case study on the
Bro.
team at that point, because it's like on paper it just doesn't make any sense. Like
No.
even like how can a team be so talented and then turn to literally flip the script? Like was it something in the water? There has to be some case study that's done on
The
this Maryland
Monstars
football
took our
team
talent.
if this is the case, bro. But yeah, it's ridiculous, fool. But that's what I have to say about it. Everybody got to lock into their specific motivator and get the job done this weekend. Otherwise, it's going to be a rough remainder of the season and rough off season. Realistically, like I could see some big
Bro.
administrative changes being put in place if that's the case. So, and I don't want that to happen. So,
No,
yeah,
bro, you made a really great point though. Like either they get to a bowl game, right, and you have something to look forward to, or the next time they're doing anything football related for the guys who are coming back is winter conditioning. Anybody looking forward to that? Anybody looking
nope.
forward to 6 a.m. mat drills, coaches talking to you about the next season that's 8 months away? Like,
Mm-mm.
bro, what you did that the last 9 or 10 months to get to
Yeah.
this point. You like you said, if you got anything about you, bro, you're gonna find a way to make it happen. And for the dudes who are seniors, or you don't know what your situation is, this might be the last football you play, like ever,
Mm-hmm.
ever. Bro, you gotta have some pride about you, bro. But in some lighter news, bro, or I guess just to make things a little lighter. Speaking of, obviously, we were on rough teams before. We went through not this bad. We went through a smaller drought back in 2018. We were on a team together. But like one thing we did, bro, is we were going through some havoc off the field that was so far out of our control. It like can't even explain it. We
Yeah.
made things fun and light in the locker room, bro. Like we had a good time. Whether it was folks freestyling at the lockers or folks pulling out the gloves. But I don't know what it is about football players. I mean, I do. It's the competitiveness. It's the aggression. And
Everybody think they got hands.
bro, everybody wants to pull out boxing gloves and thinks they're Floyd Mayweather or Mike Tyson. Now, the funniest thing about locker room fights in particular, ain't no weight classes.
Ain't no weight classes.
So you got, sometimes you gonna have Tyson Fury versus Floyd Mayweather. Bro, we were talking about it earlier, bro. Talk about when my dog Fleet, one of your running back mates, ran up on, bro, how big was Breon at the time? Big Breon Gaddy. He was about like close to 400.
400. 4 pancakes.
400, bro. All I remember, I was in the shower, bro. I heard y'all yelling. All I remember is coming around the corner, and it was like, bink, bink, bink. Fleet caught Breon with a 3-piece, something so serious. I didn't even think he fell. I don't know. But, bro, those were some good times, bro. Those are some good times.
It's so funny because I orchestrated it because I was like, man, losing every week is sucking. So, like, how can I lighten the mood? And I'm like, I'm going to grab my boxing gloves from my crib. I went in my little chest, grabbed them, and I put the gloves right in the middle of the locker room, right there. And everybody's just looking around. And of course, Breon a big, like he always was out there. He'd be that type of guy. So he go grab the gloves, like, man, what's up, man? Who trying to see me? And of course, Fleet like, what's up? So them boys started brawling. That was the funniest fight. It wasn't even a fight. That was the funniest match or whatever you want to call it that I ever seen it. But it's a good way to keep the morale on the team high because at the end of the day, you playing a game, So it sucks to lose and it sucks to like week to week be having these disappointments, but you still want to have fun and like keep the essence of why you're there. It's a brotherhood. It's camaraderie. Y'all have worked so hard in these off seasons and these summer workouts. This is supposed to be the fun times. So just doing little stuff like that with your team is a great way to keep the morale high and like keep the focus away from like we're losing and we have all this pressure on us to like, let's just go out there and have fun because when you have fun, everything else works itself out. So I think that the guys in that locker room should definitely just try to have fun with each other, do the dumb stuff because that dumb stuff is like, that's honestly what leads to wins. The people who win championships are the ones that have the most fun, not the ones who are like every day super locked in, iron, like friggin' what you call it, mouth tight, no smiles, no nothing. It's the folks that's having fun out there because that's what it is at the end of the day, a game.
Without a doubt, bro. And like, I think definitely what you don't realize when you're young and when you're in the moment sometimes is like, bro, you may have a couple more years or you may be, going on to the next level, but that team at any given year, you can take this for any point in your life, that team will never be together again once that season ends. So anything you have associated with that team, those games you played, those winter workouts where you were fighting tooth and nail with the running back who you were about to have to go battle with for the starting spot in training camp. Bro, all of that stuff is so special, and you'll never get it back. And you never know when you're gonna be done playing like all together, bro. And then you're gonna be sitting on the couch 25 years later telling your son, "Hey, son, I was back there with Jake in the locker room, and we were throwing hands like it was 1994." I don't know, like, but you just don't know when that stuff is gonna be done for you. And like I said, at some point they all become memories, and you don't have anything left, to actively do. Like you can't put the shoulder pads on again. So it's definitely nice if you're able to embrace it more while you're there. I feel like we've now graduated to the point where we're like, dang, all them old heads used to come back were right. Bro, every old head who come back and speak, what's the first thing they say? Hey man, enjoy it while it's here.
We said it to him.
Hey, look, pretty soon it's gonna be over.
It's gonna be over.
It's gonna be over, bro. You're gonna have to learn how to file taxes. You're gonna have to buy furniture. Folks ain't know. Not everywhere is a furnished apartment. Like,
exactly. That's facts.
Real life problems. Life problems, bro. So it's important that those boys they enjoy it while it lasts, man, because it really does come to an end at some point for everybody, and you gotta have a good time, bro. And there's no reason they shouldn't. Like they should be having an even better time because they should be better than 5-4, and they should be talking about, hey man, we going down to Miami for the bowl week. We're gonna be in the Orange Bowl, yada yada yada. But here we are, man. We gotta go steal number 6 in Lincoln. So hopefully we can make it happen. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll talk about it next week. Hopefully we're smiling.
That is the truth. Hey, that's one thing for sure. We will be back next week to talk about it, whether it's the good, the bad, or the ugly. We're gonna be here, and appreciate y'all tuning in. Keep rocking with us, and we'll see y'all next week. Check you later. Out.